from some of the professors from the IITs also. But later, after discussing about this workshop, some of the professors from IIT Bombay and some of the professors from the IIT Hyderabad suggested that these workshops will not be helpful much. So if you want to means help out the scholars or the researchers, mainly mainly covering the open form programming aspects, then it should be more of the practice type. So what I mean to say that I should cover some content and I should give you some more of the practice problem, and you should solve those problems, and after that then again we will going to interact in the another next week, and such type of comprehensive course will help you uh, to means develop the programming skills inside your into you. So this is the whole idea why I thought of the providing the 40 hours open form comprehensive course on the programming level of skills. So this is some brief about my company. So I think you can see the slides now. So this is some brief about my company, that is the iTrasims. So as I told you that I have started this company in the fourth year of my means PhD, and means I have solved many consultancy problems from the different countries also, not only from India. But these are the problems generally focused on the research problem, not related to the industry's problems. And also I've conducted
Hello.
workshops. Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Pratyush. Can you full screen your PPT? We can see actually we are not able to see the full screen of your PPT.
Okay, okay. Let me.
Can you? I think if you share the full screen of your PC laptop,
Okay, okay, sure.
then it will be visible. Share your full screen.
Now it's okay.
Now zoom in. Yeah, now it is better. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry for the means that convenience. So this is about my company. So as I told you that I have also conducted workshops in IIT Bombay's, and also I have got getting offer from IIT Hyderabad to conduct a 1 or 2 weeks summer workshop program in IIT Hyderabad from a professor. And also recently I got contacted with the industries in Pune. So uh, I'm working on some CFD-DM problem from my company sides, and these problems is due to the confidential. I cannot share the problem and the company name, but this is the just beginning level of my company, and the means the difference between the other consultancy software providing the CFD and CFD-DM, that they are utilizing the mostly in the commercial tools, but my main focus is primarily focusing on the open source tools. So for example, for CFD DM level, I am using the Lights software, which is also an open source tool. And ML is of course ML, for ML you can use the many Python packages which are also open source tool. And for CFD purpose, I am using the OpenFOAM. So this the focus of this iTrustSim is to completely covering the open source tools. Means whatever simulation we are going to do in future, or for industry problem, for consultancy, and from the workshops, we are going to focus on the open source tools. So this is just a brief about the my company. Now, why I wanted to cover the OpenFOAM? So this has the many advantages, because whoever is joining this talk, they are you are especially join this talk because of the CFD problem. So you want to solve your CFD research problem, or you want to learn a CFD. So if you know about the CFD, there are many commercial software or commercial code. So for the problem with the commercial software, that they charge the much amount of the means money if you want to use those softwares. For example, NSYS, if means for IIT, I think many crores they charge for a 1 month subscription for the NSYS. And advantage of OpenFOAM that it is free and open source, and you can also do the parallel simulations. Okay. And another advantage that I found while using the OpenFOAM, that you can easily understand the source code. If you want to understand the CFD source code in the commercial software, it is very hectic task. I cannot say that you cannot means go through the development source code. You can also go through the development source code in the commercial software, but it will be a very hectic task compared to the open form. You can easily go through the different source code in the open form, but in the commercial software it is a very hectic task. And also if you want to means if you compare with the in-house code development, okay, so many professors or many scholars suggest that in-house code is more means comparatively more useful compared to the open form, but it is a means it is a very discussive problem. You cannot say that open means in-house code is more useful compared to the open form, but I can say that if you solving the means complex problem, like you're solving some problem related to the nuclear reactor or power plant or turbine, then I can say that in such scenario open form is more useful compared to the in-house coding. In-house code development you can use for the smaller problem, like you are doing some solver development, or you are doing some algorithm development. In such scenario you can use the in-house code development, but in complex problem open form could be more useful compared to the uh, means your own code, your own solver development, because in open form there is already many numerical methods, many operators, many utilities has been already implemented and tested. And of course if you are means if you are comparing the support community of the open form, so since in last 10 years, or you can say the 5 years, the open form users are largely vastly increasing. So now it is very easy to means get support from the open form community. If means I think you have heard about the CFD online. So in on the CFD online there is a specific means a specific forum that only covers the open form problems. So now this open form community has been vastly increases. Mainly European countries are means using or focusing on the open form for the CFD problems. So these are the some advantages that I found, that you should use open form for your research problem. If you are using means for academic purpose, then you should surely use open form compared to the commercial software. But if you're going for the industry, then that should be depend upon the industries what they want to solve their problem. Now this is just about the why open form should be you should focus on the open form, and what is all about the my company. Now speaking of the course content, so I have divided 3 level course. Okay, so as I told you that this course would should be 40 hours tutorials or lectures. So I have divided in 10 weeks, and each week is going to take 4 hours of course, where two uh, 2 days that I've selected for the Friday and Saturday, and each day we are covering the 2 hours of tutorials. Okay, so week 1 and week 2 will be focusing on the only beginner level of means content. Then week 3 and week 5, 3, 4 and 5 we are going to cover the foundation level, and 6 to 10 we are completely going to cover the programming level, where we will develop the solver, we will develop the utilities, we will develop the boundary condition. I'm going to also talk about the object registry of the open form, which is one of the most vast video on my YouTube channel. So I have uploaded the object registry on my YouTube channel, and that tutorials, that lectures is mostly means recommended by the many peoples or many YouTubers. And means you can also go through the YouTube video, but advantage of this content that we are going to work on hands-on level. Okay, so one to one I'm going to ask you to program with me, and you are also going to do programming with me also. And even if it will take more than 2 hours, we are going to cover that topic on that the same day. We are not going to just cover, we just focus on timing that we 2 hours is completed and this session should be in. This should not be going to happen. We will, if you are doing the programming and if you are developing some solver, or if you are developing some boundary condition, I will going to means ask everyone to do that programming and finish that programming on the same day. So this, speaking of the beginner level, this is the content. So first as as soon as you registered for that course, we will try to install the OpenFOAM in your system before beginning of the session, this week 1 or week 2, whenever you registered for the course. So installation is on us. We will install the OpenFOAM inside your system, whether you use Windows or whether you use the Ubuntu or any kind of CentOS or any kind of operating system you're using. We are going to install the OpenFOAM on our system. So this part we are not going to cover in the tutorial, but this is on us, and we will explain you. Of course, we are going to explain that how this installation of the OpenFOAM works in the OpenFOAM, Ubuntu, and also we are going to explain that how WSL you can enable in your Windows system. Then of course we are going to start with the introduction of OpenFOAM folder structure. And if you want to means optimize your OpenFOAM simulation, then you should aware of this Linux commands. Okay, so you should try to make comfortable with the Linux command and terminal. Okay, so try to use more of the terminal commands inside your Ubuntu terminal. And then after that we are going to run our first test case. So see, this is the just week 1 program, where starting from the installation up to you're running your first test case, you are going to master these contents in your first week. And we will also give you some exercise that you have to show within 1 week. So before beginning of the week 2, we have to complete this exercise and we have to send us the solution of this exercise, and we are going to provide you solution in the week 2 only. Okay, and week 2 we are going to cover the basic of the C++. See, as you know that we are mainly focusing on the OpenFOAM programming. So first in the basics you should know about the OpenFOAM, and then you should know about the some of the basics of the C++. Then only we can go to the foundation level. So this is means my approach, the way I have learned the OpenFOAM programming during my PhD. That way I am following here in this foundation in this open comprehensive course. So first you should aware of the OpenFOAM, then you should aware of the C++, basic structure of the C++, what is the variable and operators, and this different programmings that I am showing here. We are going to use the OpenFOAM environment to understand these concepts. So how input output works, how you can print hello words, what is the variable and operator. So this complete complete concept of the C++ we are going to understand from the perspective of the OpenFOAM. And again I am going to give you exercise, and this is the complete beginning level where you are master of the you are aware of the some of the C++ things and some of the OpenFOAM things. Now you can go to the foundation level, so where you are going to work for the week 3 to week 5 for the foundation level. Okay, now you should have some aware of means some concept of the OpenFOAM. You should aware of this, that what is the meshing, how meshings will works, and one of the, so we are going to tell you means by taking the example of block mesh, we are going to tell you that how this constant folder handles the block mesh, different faces, different edges, different points. These things we are going to cover in the basics of the meshings. Okay, then we will introduce the FVM concept from the perspective of the OpenFOAM. These two algorithms that I have explained, I am going to explain here, but not the coding part here. So we are going to code the simple form solver from the 0 level to from up to the final level. That we will cover in the programming level. But here we are going to just explain that how, what is the algorithm behind the simple form and pimple form, and some of the numerical schemes that is the means more important, that also we are going to cover here. And of course I'm going to give you exercise here also to that you have to show in the week 4. Now this some of the coding level concepts we are going to cover here, but again we have not started the means coding here only, but these are the simple equations. Sorry, someone has raised, I think, 1 minute. So this is the concept of the week 3 and week 4. So these are the content that we are going to cover in the this code development that I mentioned here, these are just a simple one-line equations that is why we are covering in the week 4. Okay, and this also we are going to solve a first order differential equation in OpenFOAM that we can take example of like falling a ball from a given height, and that equations we are going to solve in this using the OpenFOAM environment. And I will give you some brief idea about what is the dictionary, how this dimension types is working in OpenFOAM, and here that I told you that which is the important topic, that what is the OpenFOAM duxation and object registry. Okay, so this last two topics that I'm going to just give you a brief about that how duxation can be used. So OpenFOAM duxation you are aware about, and these things I'm going to cover in the last two topics, and this codings we are going to just solve. See if I cover one of these topics like code development of the pure convection equation. These three you can do by yourself, and these four problems we are going to cover in one of the weeks here only. So this one problem I will explain, and you are going to solve these three problems by yourself, and then I will cover this how this duxation works and what is the dictionary and object registry. And again we are going to give you one exercise for the next week. This is the problem of the this is the where we are going to solve the simple form scheme. So as I told you that we are going to code the complete simple form algorithm in the OpenFOAM from the zero level. So we are going to create the mesh, also we are going to define the different mesh points or mesh volume, and then we are going to means write the complete algorithm in one side, and we are going to code the complete algorithm on the another side, and that you are going to also do with me parallelly, you are going to also do with me. And then once we code about the simple form, then we are going to see the coding parts of the pimple form and interform. Okay, once you are able to understand the coding level of the simple form, you can understand the another solver also, and those two are the different solvers, that is interform, that where you solve the multi-phase volume of fluid method, and this simple form that is transient solver, and simple form is the steady state solver. So once you are able to code this simple form, then you can easily understand this simple form and interform, and that we are going to cover. And apart from this, we are going to develop a new solver. Okay, so maybe we will try to add the uh, temperature equation in either pimple form or either in the interform. Okay, that we can also do for the interform, although interform is a little bit complex if you want to add the temperature equation. But once you are able to understand the coding part of these two solvers, you are easily going to add the means temperature equation either in interform either in the pimple form. Then we will also means try to understand the boundary condition, and I'm going to give you some exercises here also. And then finally we will go to the programming level. Okay, now we are going to develop the different kind of the boundary condition. Here I have just explained what is the boundary condition and how it handles the interfields of the mesh, and how it means handles the boundary fields of the given mesh. That things we are going to understand here in the boundary condition, but the development of the boundary condition starts from the week 6. Okay, so we will develop a simple boundary condition first, like a total temperature kind of boundary condition we are going to develop here, and then we are going to develop a oscillatory kind of boundary condition. Okay, so these two development we are going to do in this week. And also basics of turbulence flow, and means one of my colleagues that is also going to tute you in this conference course. Currently he is in NIT Hamirpur for some reason, but he is going to cover this turbulent flow and development of some turbulence model. His complete PhD work is on the turbulence development of the turbulence models. So he works on the DNS and LES. So though he is going to completely cover these three topics in the week 6, and we will give you some exercise related to the boundary condition and the turbulent development of a new turbulent model, and that you have to show in the week 7. Okay, now these topics I am going to cover: development of thermophysical model and transport model, and development of some utilities. These three problems I have also done for the project, not for myself but for the consultancy I provided to some other research scholars. So these three problems we can do, and it will not take means up to this level. Once you have solved from the, you have done some development up from this level, you will understand easily what I'm doing on the screen. So it is not going to much take much time. Here you can easily understand how to develop, means how what I am doing on the transport model, thermophysical model, and development of some utilities. And week 7 we will again going to cover the compressible fluid and dynamic mesh movement, and we are going to give the some exercises. This is also going to covered by the another mentor who is means my colleague, and he is the master of this compressible fluid and dynamic mesh movement, so he is going to cover these topics. And in week 9, so I'm going to cover this porous media model to add into the multi-region solver. And this is one of my PhD problems. And this again, FSI will be covered by one of the another colleagues. And this multi-phase flow, this is also covered by one of my another colleagues. So this is the week 9 problem. That is the advanced level of codings that you are doing here. And if you master this, then you can do anything you want in OpenFOAM. You can do if you cover this up to this topic, week 9 topic. And as I suggested that we are going to also parallelly solve one of the research problem of your project, and which is related to OpenFOAM programming, and that will be we are going to discuss on the week 10. Okay, so from starting from the week 1 or week 2, we are going to ask you some of the research problem which we are working, and we will parallelly take means give you one mentor who is going to ask you that how to code, how what is your weak point, and how you can modify your solver, and how you can validate those problems. We are going to start discussing from the week 1 or week 2, and at the last week 10 we are going to see the final result, and we are going to further discuss and see the presentations here. That is the for the week 10. So this is complete for the beginner level, foundation level, and this is the for programming level.